Hi, I'm Emily Taylor. Thank you for joining me on my Collage Quilter YouTube channel. Today I'm going to explain a little bit about parchment pressing patterns. So I make two types of patterns, and one of my favorites, well, I guess I like both of them, but parchment pressing patterns are very unique in that we are able to make a small collage and then put it onto a fabric of our choice. So let me dive a little deeper and explain, but I'm going to just show you what a parchment pressing pattern looks like. So these are some examples. Obviously this is Octopus Garden. This is what the pattern looks like when you open it, okay? So here are the templates. I'll show you these in a minute, but step-by-step photo instructions. It's a really nice pattern, and this is what the template looks like. All of my patterns, parchment pressing patterns included, are in shades of gray to guide your fabric selection and fabric placement. So this one just happens to be a large format sheet that has each of the items. And the idea is that I'm going to trace these onto parchment paper. So for a demonstration, I've got this one too. This is a little booklet with all of the garden party patterns. But as a demonstration, I'm going to show you the chinoiserie pots pattern. So with this one, this is what the template sheet looks like. Now, let me explain the supplies that you need for a parchment pressing pattern. You will need, number one, parchment paper. Parchment paper is the same thing as baking paper. It is a non-stick, heat-resistant surface, which is just perfect for using with this type of pattern. And people have asked me, can I use a silicone mat, a pressing mat? And sure, it's the same idea, but the benefit with using parchment paper is that you can actually draw on it. You can trace out the templates, and then you will build your collage right on the parchment paper. Then the next required supply that you're going to need is Steam-A-Seam. So I prefer the light Steam-A-Seam 2. This is a double-sided fusible web. And all of my patterns call for this because this is how I've designed the patterns. I really like the temporary stick quality that light Steam-A-Seam 2 has. So I prepare all of my fabric pieces that I'm going to use with light Steam-A-Seam 2 before I begin. You're going to need a good pair of scissors. These Karen K. Buckley 6-inch scissors are my preferred scissors because they have a nice serrated edge that cuts through the fabric like butter, and I find that the size is just perfect for the size of cuts that I make for my collage. I also highly recommend this wand iron. It will help us to keep things pressed down in the initial stages of building the collage. You need pins, and the other thing that I really like is these tweezers. Tweezers are really, really helpful when building a parchment pressing pattern. So those are the supplies. Now let me demonstrate how to get started with this type of pattern. All right, let me list for you the steps in this process. Number one, we're going to trace the template onto the parchment paper using pencil. Pen won't stick, so use a pencil and make sure that you trace each gray section of the design so that you can be sure to select the fabric. That's where the variation in the values is where we get the dimension and the realism in a collage. Now you can leave the gray tone template underneath your parchment paper during this process, but I like to have it to the side of me so that I can refer to the guide. Next, make sure that your fabric has been prepared with Steam-A-Seam. This is important, and you don't need to have large pieces. So now I'm ready to begin the collage, and I just begin by cutting the pieces of fabric, and I make them fit in the area of the design that I'm working on, paying attention to the values of my fabric and the corresponding values in the template. When I'm finished with the collage, I'm going to press all of the pieces to each other and to the parchment paper. with a dry iron. Sometimes I'll take this over to my larger iron, but don't use steam at this point. Then I can peel away the collage and it comes off like a sticker and allows me to audition different backgrounds and create the composition of my choice. Here are some finished quilts that have been made using my parchment pressing patterns. And if you are interested in purchasing any of my patterns or supplies for making collage quilts, you can find them at collagequilter.com. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like my YouTube channel and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you again soon.